Why learning to be silent? Stoicism. Stoic secrets. There's a saying that learning to speak takes 25 years, but learning to be silent takes a lifetime. In the chaos of modern life, this truth is more relevant than ever. Today's, where we are constantly bombarded by noise, social media, and the pressure to express our opinions, the power of silence is often undervalued. We live in a time where speaking our minds seems to be a necessity. At Stoic Secrets, we understand that silence isn't about saying nothing. It's about mastering the moments when silence becomes our greatest ally. It's about choosing when to speak and when to listen, when to engage and when to withdraw. Silence, when applied with intention, isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of emotional control, wisdom, and strength. In this video, we'll explore the profound value of silence in the modern world, why mastering this skill can enhance your life, and how it's a key to achieving true happiness and fulfillment. Number 1. Silence makes you stronger. Silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's a powerful tool that can shape your presence and influence. In the Stoic tradition, one of the most profound lessons is the power of silence. In a world filled with noise, social media, work pressures, and the constant urge to be heard, true strength often lies in choosing not to say everything that comes to mind. Imagine silence not as weakness, but as a way of controlling your emotions and staying calm when others might not. Silence makes you stronger. When you choose silence, you assert control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Consider how silence can impact conversations or negotiations. Have you ever noticed how powerful it feels to speak less, but with intention, leaving pauses that make others reflect on your words? The Stoics believed that emotional control was a key to personal strength, and silence allows you to practice it. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can pause, gather your thoughts, and respond with purpose. This makes you appear not only more authoritative, but also more thoughtful and intentional. People respect those who remain silent when necessary because it shows self-awareness and inner strength. Take Louis XIV, for example. The French king was known for his use of silence to command respect. His famous phrase, "I shall see," followed by a deliberate pause, caused even the most powerful people to second-guess their actions. So, how can this apply to you? Silence isn't about withdrawing from conversation, but using it strategically. It amplifies your presence, making others listen more carefully when you speak. You don't need to fill every silence with words. Sometimes, it's the quiet confidence that makes others pay attention. Have you ever noticed how the quiet person in a meeting commands the room when they finally speak? That's the power of measured silence. The more you use it wisely, the more your words become valuable. People start to realize that when you speak, it's worth listening. Silence also gives you the space to think and gain clarity. In a world where opinions are often rushed, a pause can give you a significant advantage. This is a key Stoic lesson. Think before you act. In silence, you find grounding, allowing you to make thoughtful decisions. By choosing silence, you control not just your emotions, but also the impact of your words. Silence allows you to stand out as someone who values calm and composed communication. Moreover, silence is essential for self-reflection. In moments of stillness, you can better understand your thoughts, motivations, and reactions. Silence is a vital tool for introspection and personal growth. The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from reflecting inwardly, and silence is essential for that. In these quiet moments, you can grow and find direction in life. Consider Nikola Tesla, known for his quiet nature. Tesla spent more time in silence, focusing on his work rather than engaging in the noise of social life. His silence wasn't a weakness, it was a tool for concentration and deep thinking. Even as his fame grew, his quiet demeanor only added to his influence. Tesla's silence allowed him to create groundbreaking ideas that have impacted the world. Why does silence hold such power in Stoic philosophy? It connects us to our inner selves, helping us act with purpose instead of reaction. By practicing silence, we show self-control and create space for thoughtful action, clarity, and personal growth. Silence allows us to remain steady, like a rock in a storm. The next time you feel pressured to speak, pause, take a breath. What do you truly want to say? What impact do you want your words to have? This is where the Stoic secrets of silence can become your greatest strength. By embracing silence, you'll grow in power and influence without needing to raise your voice or fill every moment with words. You'll lead with clarity, purpose, and authority, a strength that will take you far. Silence isn't just an absence of noise, it's an action. By practicing silence, you gain control over your emotions, increase the value of your words, and build the presence of someone who is composed, thoughtful, and powerful. As the Stoics teach, sometimes the best response is no response at all. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember, silence is your secret weapon. Number 2. Silence is golden. In the fast-paced, noise-filled world we live in today, we are constantly surrounded by distractions and the pressure to express our thoughts. The constant barrage of information from social media, conversations, and media makes silence seem like a rare and undervalued commodity. However, silence, when chosen intentionally, holds immense power. It is not merely the absence of sound, but the presence of purposeful restraint. In a world that encourages everyone to share their opinions at every moment, silence becomes a form of rebellion against the noise. It is a choice to control one's impulses and emotions, demonstrating inner strength and an acknowledgement of the value of time and space, both for ourselves and others. When we choose silence, we are not surrendering to passivity. Instead, we are actively choosing to think, reflect, and listen deeply. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This principle captures the essence of modern Stoicism. We prioritize thoughtful reflection over hasty reaction. Silence, in its practice, is more than just the absence of words. It's an opportunity to understand what is happening within us and around us. It allows us to listen fully, not only to others, but also to our inner dialogue. By being silent, we show respect for those around us. It tells others that we are valuing their words and that we don't need to fill every silence with our own voice. In a world where social validation often comes through constant communication, silence removes the need for external approval, allowing us to interact without the pressure of saying something just to be heard. In conversations, especially during conflicts, silence can be a deeply emotional and intelligent response. Rather than escalating an argument with rash words or knee-jerk reactions, silence offers a moment to pause and gain perspective. It allows the other person to fully express their thoughts, which fosters understanding and can ultimately lead to resolution. As Marcus Aurelius, another wise Stoic, put it, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In moments of conflict, silence can break the cycle of aggression, giving space for calmness and rational thought to emerge. Silence offers the opportunity to detach from our immediate emotional reactions, allowing us to think clearly and act thoughtfully. It helps us distance ourselves from the need to win the conversation or assert our dominance, and instead, it leads to a more productive and peaceful resolution. Consider the next time you're engaged in a heated discussion. It's easy to rush in with a response driven by the need to defend ourselves or prove a point. However, the true power of silence lies in its ability to cool our emotional responses and shift the focus from winning to understanding. By choosing silence in such moments, we allow space for reflection, which can diffuse tension and guide the conversation toward a more thoughtful outcome. This practice of silence is not about passivity. It's a practice of emotional control, one that helps us grow in self-awareness and emotional maturity. In our modern lives, where speaking is often immediate and reflexive, silence can be transformative. It helps us become more mindful communicators, enhancing our ability to connect with others on a deeper level. Silence enriches our ability to observe and understand the dynamics of human relationships. It teaches us patience, fortitude, and wisdom, qualities central to modern Stoicism. By embracing silence, we cultivate the capacity for greater empathy, emotional resilience, and clarity. Silence, when used intentionally, is not just the absence of words, but the presence of thoughtfulness, emotional strength, and composure, essential qualities that lead to better communication, stronger relationships, and a more peaceful inner life. If you've made it this far, you are truly aligning yourself with the wisdom of the universe. Take a moment to reflect on how silence can be a powerful tool for personal growth and emotional control. Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Write, "Silence is golden," or any short phrase that captures how silence has impacted your life. By sharing, you're committing to not only listening, but taking action on the messages around you. Stay with us. Your transformative journey has only just begun. Number 3. Listening and learning. Silence is often overlooked, but it's one of the most powerful tools for personal and professional growth. It's not just the absence of sound, but the space it creates for deep listening. In today's fast-paced world filled with constant noise, silence enables us to truly hear what others are saying without interrupting. When we listen attentively, we grasp not only the words but the underlying meaning behind them. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This highlights the importance of listening over speaking. Listening opens the door to understanding the experiences, perspectives, and needs of others, critical for building empathy, respect, and strong relationships. Modern Stoicism teaches that silence is a powerful tool in our increasingly noisy world. Too often we rush to speak, offer opinions, or give advice before fully understanding the situation. This can hinder effective communication and create misunderstandings. Silence, however, allows us to be patient and humble, creating space to process information before responding. By choosing silence, we show respect for others and their message, signaling that we are present and engaged. This pause is not passive, but an active choice to understand. As Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we speak." Through this, we become learners in life, rather than just speakers. Listening is also crucial for self-reflection. When we remain silent during a conversation, we give ourselves the mental space to absorb, reflect, and connect what others are saying to our own experiences. This reflective silence helps us learn about ourselves, fostering greater self-awareness and more thoughtful responses. In the context of modern Stoicism, listening becomes a practice of personal growth, teaching us patience, humility, and understanding before we speak or act. The value of silence in communication and relationships is clear in many situations. For example, in a work meeting, instead of immediately offering your opinion, taking time to listen to others leads to more productive and innovative outcomes. Listening to the ideas of your colleagues shows respect and creates an environment where collaboration can thrive. When silence is a part of your communication, conversations become richer and everyone feels heard and valued. Seneca once said, "Silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life." By embracing silence and listening, we learn the importance of patience and human connection. In our fast-paced lives, we often compete for attention, whether at work or in our personal relationships. The Stoic practice of silence provides a counterbalance to this constant noise. Silence helps us reconnect with what truly matters, understanding others, reflecting on our thoughts, or processing information before reacting. By listening with intention, we cultivate a deeper sense of peace, clarity, and wisdom. This modern Stoic approach to communication enables us to live more mindfully, responding to the world with greater empathy and calm. In modern Stoicism, learning to be silent isn't about withdrawing from the world. It's about engaging with it more consciously. Silence and listening become powerful tools for growth, both in our relationships and in our personal development. When we practice silence, we step away from distractions and into a space of understanding and reflection. Choosing to listen rather than speak teaches us how to navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom, patience, and emotional intelligence. So, the next time you're in a conversation, remember the power of silence. It could lead to deeper connections, better communication, and a greater understanding of yourself and others. Number 4. Speaking at the right moment. In life, knowing when to speak is just as crucial as knowing when to remain silent. This principle, one of the most powerful Stoic secrets, is essential to our daily interactions and how we navigate the world. It's tempting to jump into conversations or react impulsively when emotions are high, but speaking without thought can often lead to misunderstandings, unnecessary conflicts, or even harm to relationships. On the other hand, silence is not a sign of weakness or avoidance. Rather, it serves as a powerful tool for self-control, providing us with the chance to reflect and decide whether our words are truly needed. Think of silence like the calm before the storm. It's the pause that allows you to gather your thoughts, assess the situation, and determine the most effective response. Without this pause, we risk saying things we might regret or escalating a situation unnecessarily. Have you ever been in a heated conversation where you spoke too quickly and immediately regretted your words? Or maybe you noticed how your hasty response only made the conflict worse. But when you take a step back, allow the tension to settle, and then speak thoughtfully, your words become far more effective. They have the power to bring clarity, resolve a conflict, and even shift the direction of the conversation entirely. By choosing to remain silent until the right moment, you allow yourself to respond in a way that adds value to the conversation. Silence ensures that your words aren't just noise. They become meaningful, impactful, and full of consideration. Imagine the strength in a leader who, during a high-stakes negotiation, chooses to remain quiet while others are debating. He doesn't rush in with his opinion. Instead, he listens, observes, and waits for the exact moment when his input will carry the most weight. When he finally speaks, his words shift the entire dynamic of the conversation, demonstrating wisdom, restraint, and strategic thinking. His silence wasn't an absence of thought. It was a calculated, deliberate move. This is one of the Stoic secrets. When used at the right time, silence can be more powerful than speech itself. In your own life, you can practice this art of silence by reflecting on whether your words will add value or if your silence could be more beneficial in the moment. In a world where everyone is talking over one another, silence can be an incredibly powerful tool. It gives you space to think and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. The next time you feel the urge to speak, ask yourself, is this the right moment? Will my words improve the situation? Or would it be better to wait and contribute when I can offer something truly valuable? Silence isn't about saying less. It's about making sure that when you do speak, your words have purpose, influence, and clarity. Mastering the art of silence isn't about avoiding difficult conversations. It's about ensuring that your contributions are meaningful and impactful. In the grand scheme of things, the moments of silence in our lives often hold the most transformative power. They provide space for deep reflection, for a well-thought-out response, and ultimately for words that resonate with clarity and wisdom. By embracing silence as a tool rather than a void, we can navigate our lives with greater purpose and effectiveness, just as the Stoics did. Silence, when used strategically, not only transforms conversations, but leaves a lasting impact that continues to echo in the minds of others. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where you're unsure of whether to speak or stay silent, remember the Stoic secrets. Pause, reflect, and choose wisely. Your silence can be the force that makes your words not only heard, but truly understood. As we've seen, silence holds immense power, allowing you to think before speaking, avoid unnecessary conflict, and become a better listener. By practicing silence, you unlock the ability to choose your words carefully and embrace the wisdom of Stoicism. The benefits of silence. Now, let's explore the deeper benefits of silence and how it can transform your relationships, emotional control, and overall peace of mind. Keep reading to uncover how silence can play a vital role in building a stronger, more balanced life. Number 1. Protecting peace. Silence is a powerful tool for maintaining peace, especially in emotionally charged situations. In our fast-paced, reactive world, where quick responses are often expected, the ability to pause and remain silent is invaluable. When conflict arises, whether in personal relationships or the workplace, the urge to react impulsively is strong. Yet, silence offers the time needed to step back and view the situation from a calm, rational perspective. It provides the mental space to control emotions, carefully choose words, and prevent conflicts from escalating. By remaining silent, we protect our own peace while creating an environment where others feel free to express themselves without fear of judgment. As Epictetus wisely said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In tense moments, silence allows both sides to reflect on the issue, leading to better understanding and resolution. Silence is not a passive choice. It demonstrates emotional maturity and control, vital qualities for healthy relationships. It shows wisdom in handling adversity, allowing us to pause and reflect before reacting. Silence in this context is an active tool for maintaining composure, fostering deeper communication, and avoiding unnecessary conflict. Choosing to remain silent rather than speaking in anger or frustration creates the space for meaningful conversations that benefit all involved. Moreover, silence serves as a form of self-care, especially in emotionally taxing situations. In times of stress, taking a step back can prevent us from saying things we may later regret. Choosing silence helps preserve our mental and emotional well-being, offering a chance to process emotions without the pressure of confrontation. Just as Stoicism teaches control over reactions, silence acts as a protective shield against the negative effects of impulsive words and actions. By embracing silence instead of engaging in conflict, we maintain our inner peace and the quality of our interactions. For example, during a family disagreement, the temptation to raise your voice can quickly escalate tension. But by choosing silence, you give everyone the time to cool off and reflect, allowing for a calmer and more productive conversation. This simple act can diffuse aggression and pave the way for understanding. Silence in modern Stoicism is not about avoiding confrontation, but about finding strength in stepping back and choosing a more thoughtful response. In today's world, where constant communication and distractions often lead to conflicts, silence is a powerful and intentional act. It's not just about withholding words, but about creating space for reflection, understanding, and peace. Whether in relationships, the workplace, or within ourselves, the ability to pause and remain silent can lead to deeper connections and tranquility. It helps us rise above immediate reactions and choose clarity. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, noted, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This insight reminds us that silence gives us the space to sift through perceptions and respond with wisdom, rather than reacting in haste. Silence is not merely a passive retreat, but an active practice of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. In the reactive pace of modern life, learning to use silence as a tool for protecting peace is essential. Whether facing family disputes, professional challenges, or personal frustration, silence offers the opportunity to step away from chaos and respond thoughtfully. It is a practice that allows us to maintain calm, preserve our peace, and live in alignment with the principles of modern Stoicism, nurturing both our relationships and our inner tranquility. Number 2, maintaining respect. Silence is a powerful tool in maintaining respect, both for ourselves and for others, and it plays an essential role in modern Stoicism. In many situations, the decision to remain silent is not an act of weakness, but rather a sign of strength and discipline. It demonstrates emotional intelligence and maturity, qualities that are increasingly rare in today's fast-paced, often reactionary world. By holding our tongue instead of speaking impulsively, we create space for reflection and avoid contributing to the noise that can cloud our judgment. This is especially true when we allow others to express themselves fully without interruption. In doing so, we show respect for their thoughts and feelings, offering them the courtesy of being heard. This act of silent respect enables us to connect with others on a deeper level, fostering an environment of trust and understanding. In the Stoic tradition, silence is not just about refraining from speaking, but about cultivating an awareness of when words are necessary and when they may cause harm. When we remain silent, we avoid saying things that could be disrespectful or hurtful, protecting both our integrity and the dignity of those around us. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By choosing silence over rash words, we are not only preventing ourselves from engaging in unnecessary arguments, but we are also ensuring that our actions align with our values. Silence, therefore, becomes an act of self-control, one that safeguards our character in the face of provocation. Silence also serves as a powerful form of non-verbal communication, particularly in relationships. It can be a way of setting boundaries and asserting our personal space, signaling when we are not willing to engage in a toxic or unproductive discussion. In modern life, we are often inundated with conversations that drain our energy without offering any meaningful contribution to our well-being. Choosing silence in such moments sends a clear message that our time and energy are valuable, and we are not interested in wasting them on meaningless exchanges. This form of self-respect can serve as a buffer against the pressures of societal expectations, where noise and constant chatter are often mistaken for progress. Moreover, silence in the face of provocation speaks volumes about our inner strength and confidence. When someone insults or challenges us, our instinct may be to retaliate with sharp words or heated arguments. Yet, by remaining silent instead of reacting, we demonstrate that we are not easily rattled or manipulated by others. This act of restraint commands respect, for it shows that we are in control of our emotions and not subject to the whims of others. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus teaches, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. By practicing silence, we open ourselves to the wisdom that comes from listening, not just to others, but to our own inner thoughts. In today's world, where impulsive speech and reactive communication are all too common, learning to remain silent when necessary is a valuable skill. In relationships, at work, and in social interactions, choosing silence over hasty responses can often yield better results. It helps us maintain dignity, self-respect, and a sense of inner peace that is increasingly rare. Furthermore, silence teaches us patience and humility, qualities that are essential for personal growth and maturity. It invites us to pause before reacting, to consider the consequences of our words, and to choose the path of wisdom over the path of impulse. Silence is not a retreat from the world, but an active choice to engage with it more thoughtfully and meaningfully. In practicing silence, we create room for deeper reflection, healthier communication, and stronger relationships. In the quiet moments, we find clarity and strength, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. The Stoic principle of silence is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is say nothing at all. When we embrace silence, we align ourselves with a deeper sense of purpose, honor our values, and inspire respect in those around us. As we reflect on the lessons of silence, it becomes clear that this ancient practice holds deep relevance in the context of modern Stoicism. In a world that often rewards noise and reaction, choosing silence can be a radical act of self-discipline and personal empowerment. The next time we are tempted to speak in haste or engage in a fruitless argument, we might remember the wisdom of the Stoics and consider the power of silence. By doing so, we not only protect our own peace of mind, but we also cultivate an atmosphere of respect that encourages others to do the same. Number 3. Deepening understanding. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation where words were flying and you felt overwhelmed by the need to respond quickly? In the rush to react, it's easy to miss what's truly important. This is where the Stoic secrets of silence come into play. Silence gives us the invaluable opportunity to step back, reflect, and process what's happening in the world around us. When we choose silence, we're not just holding back our words. We're creating space to understand the situation, the people involved, and our own emotions. Think about it. When you're in a conversation, the pause between responses can allow you to consider what was just said, giving you a moment to digest the meaning behind the words and consider their implications. In this pause, you can prevent misunderstandings or reacting impulsively based on assumptions. Instead of jumping in with your own thoughts, silence allows you to listen more deeply. This isn't just about hearing the words. It's about understanding the message behind them, and more importantly, it's about connecting on a deeper level with others. Imagine a moment when someone shared something personal, and instead of immediately offering your advice or thoughts, you simply listened. By holding that silence, you gave them the space to express themselves fully, which likely deepened your connection. This is the beauty of silence. It helps you cultivate empathy and see things from another's perspective. Silence gives you the gift of reflection, allowing you to process emotions before you act on them. When we hold back immediate reactions, we open the door for more thoughtful, meaningful responses that truly add value to the conversation. Take a moment to think about a recent conversation. Was there a time when, if you had just taken a breath before responding, you would have approached things differently? Silence isn't about retreating from communication. It's about creating the time needed to form a response that's thoughtful and aligned with your true understanding. By not rushing to fill every silence with words, you gain perspective. This isn't just about conversations, it's about life. When we take the time to be silent, we create room to evaluate our own feelings and reactions. In those quiet moments, we can ask ourselves, what do I truly feel? What do I need? What's the best way to approach this situation? These pauses lead to deeper self-awareness, which is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth. Silence helps us gain clarity and discernment, allowing us to make wiser decisions in all aspects of our lives. Think about a time you were in a group discussion or a meeting at work. The conversation was heated, and everyone was speaking over each other, eager to be heard. How often do we find ourselves trying to shout over the noise, desperate to get our point across? Now, imagine if, instead of jumping into the conversation, you took a moment to pause, to reflect on the opinions shared by others. That silence would allow you to process everything you've heard and contribute in a way that's thoughtful and meaningful. Silence is powerful because it gives us time to evaluate and decide how we want to respond. In those moments, when we choose not to speak immediately, we choose clarity over reaction. It's a way of saying that we value understanding more than we value simply being heard. This approach, embracing silence as a tool for deeper understanding, can transform your relationships and your decision-making. By holding back and taking time to reflect, you invite greater insight into your interactions. You're not only listening more attentively to others, but you're also tuning into your own emotions and thoughts, which helps you respond in a way that reflects your deeper values. Silence becomes a tool for emotional growth and self-awareness. The more we practice it, the more we develop a deeper appreciation for the experiences and emotions of those around us. The lesson here is clear. Silence isn't a void, but a space that allows for reflection, empathy, and deeper understanding. It's a gift, one that can help us better navigate our relationships, our emotions, and our choices. When we embrace silence, we open the door to greater emotional growth and wisdom, gaining clarity in our thoughts and actions. So next time you find yourself in a conversation or a situation where you feel the urge to speak immediately, remember the Stoic secrets of silence. Take a step back, reflect, and let silence guide you toward a response that is thoughtful, empathetic, and aligned with your deeper understanding. You've just taken a significant step towards mastering yourself. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment with the phrase, "I pause to understand," to let us know you're applying these Stoic principles in your life. Every moment of silence you embrace brings you closer to deeper understanding and emotional growth. Keep watching. Your transformation is unfolding. Number 4. Strengthening relationships. In the context of modern Stoicism, silence becomes an invaluable tool for enhancing and nurturing relationships, both personally and professionally. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely remarked, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This emphasizes the importance of listening, something that silence naturally encourages. In today's fast-paced world, where constant communication leaves little time for reflection, silence acts as a necessary pause. By choosing silence, we give others the space to express their thoughts without interruption, fostering a sense of respect and understanding. Through active listening, free from the urge to speak over others, we strengthen our relationships, showing empathy and deepening our connections. Building relationships through silence goes beyond simply refraining from speaking. It is about being present and making others feel heard and valued. In a world where many feel overlooked, offering the simple gift of listening can build strong emotional bonds. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This reflects the power of silence in the face of conflict. Instead of reacting impulsively, silence gives us a chance to reflect, leading to a more thoughtful response and allowing for constructive dialogue. In this way, silence fosters a respectful environment, reducing the likelihood of escalating tensions and encouraging resolution. Silence also provides a critical opportunity for emotional regulation, especially during moments of conflict. It allows us to resist the urge to speak hastily and instead respond with composure. As Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In relationships, those who seek constant validation often find themselves struggling. Silence offers a powerful counterbalance to this dynamic, allowing us to shift our focus away from our own needs and towards understanding others. Moreover, silence serves as a form of emotional support, particularly when others are going through difficult times. Often, in moments of grief or hardship, our presence and quiet companionship can be far more comforting than words. The Stoic philosophy teaches that true compassion doesn't always require action or speech. Sometimes being there in silence is the greatest gift we can offer. This type of silent support strengthens emotional bonds, making others feel truly understood and valued. In relationships, silence also plays a crucial role in enhancing communication. During disagreements, silence allows both parties to pause and reflect before responding. This moment of quiet helps foster mutual respect and ensures that the conversation remains thoughtful and measured. In modern Stoicism, silence is seen as a strength and a sign of emotional maturity. By choosing silence, we avoid escalating conflicts and create space for more meaningful communication. To illustrate this in a practical context, consider a situation where a friend is grieving the loss of a loved one. In such moments, words often fail to provide comfort. Instead, the act of silently listening without the pressure to offer solutions communicates care and empathy. It shows that we are there for them, fully present, without needing to fix their pain. The power of silence in these moments is profound, as it speaks louder than any words could. Silence is more than just a tool for personal reflection. It is a powerful force for building and maintaining strong relationships. Whether through active listening, offering emotional support, or using silence as a tool for conflict resolution, it fosters empathy, trust, and understanding. By embracing the modern Stoic principle of silence, we create deeper, more meaningful connections. In navigating the complexities of modern relationships, let us remember that sometimes the most profound gesture we can offer is the willingness to listen in silence. Number 5. Enhancing emotional control. Silence is a powerful tool for enhancing emotional control, especially in today's fast-paced world, where emotional reactions can be impulsive. By choosing silence, we create a moment to pause, reflect, and regulate our emotions before reacting. This pause allows us to process our feelings of anger, frustration, or sadness, preventing us from saying or doing things we may regret. In times of emotional intensity, silence acts as a buffer, giving us the clarity to make decisions with a calm mind rather than reacting impulsively. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This Stoic principle encourages us to master ourselves before reacting to external stimuli. Silence helps us align with this wisdom, giving us the space to step back and respond thoughtfully rather than letting emotions dictate our actions. It provides the opportunity to make decisions based on reason, ensuring that our responses come from a place of emotional balance. In stressful situations, silence becomes more than just a moment of stillness. It serves as a vital tool for managing stress. When overwhelmed, our minds race with thoughts and emotions, often leading to hasty decisions. However, embracing silence allows us to regain control over our feelings, creating an opportunity to step away from the situation, reflect, and approach challenges with greater composure. Silence acts as an antidote to the stresses we face daily, enabling us to restore inner calm and make thoughtful decisions that are not driven by emotion. Silence also strengthens emotional resilience. Just as we build physical strength through exercise, our emotional control becomes more robust as we practice silence in difficult moments. By choosing to observe rather than react, we develop the fortitude to handle life's challenges with grace and maturity. Over time, this practice allows us to navigate even the most difficult situations with wisdom and composure. Another critical benefit of silence is its ability to protect us from manipulation. In emotionally charged conversations, silence gives us the space to think critically before responding. When others attempt to provoke us or manipulate our emotions, remaining silent not only demonstrates self-control, but also emotional intelligence. As Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Silence allows us to evaluate the situation carefully, making it less likely that we will be swayed by emotional manipulation or make impulsive decisions. Consider a heated argument where emotions are running high. Instead of reacting impulsively, remaining silent allows you to regain control of the situation and respond thoughtfully. This pause can de-escalate the conflict and create a more constructive conversation. By choosing silence, you protect your emotional well-being and demonstrate your ability to handle challenges with maturity and poise. In modern life, where distractions are constant and the pressure for immediate responses is high, the practice of silence is invaluable. In a world that often prioritizes quick reactions and constant engagement, embracing silence becomes an act of self-mastery. Through silence, we practice modern Stoicism, which teaches us that true strength lies not in how quickly we respond, but in how thoughtfully we approach life's challenges. Incorporating silence into our daily routine helps us reduce stress, improve emotional control, and navigate relationships with wisdom. Learning to embrace silence is essential for anyone striving for emotional mastery and personal growth. It's not about withdrawing from the world, it's about choosing to engage with it from a place of calm and awareness. In doing so, we strengthen our emotional resilience, enabling us to face life's challenges with measured, thoughtful responses. Silence, when practiced with intention, becomes a powerful tool for peace and a path to deeper personal growth. Modern Stoicism teaches us to take time to process our emotions, ensuring that we respond to life's situations with wisdom, not impulsiveness. Silence not only protects your peace, but also strengthens your relationships and emotional control. By mastering silence, you learn to deepen your understanding and respect for others while maintaining your personal well-being. Let's move on to see when silence is truly the best choice. When silence is the best choice. In this section, we will delve into situations where silence becomes your most powerful tool. By recognizing these moments, you can apply Stoic wisdom to maintain clarity, calm, and composure. Number 1. When you lack the full information. Silence, when used wisely, holds immense power, especially when we don't have the full picture. Think back to a time when you were thrust into a conversation or meeting, and you didn't have all the necessary information to form an opinion or make a sound decision. How tempting is it to speak up, to share your thoughts, or to jump in with an idea, even when you know you don't have all the facts? It's natural to want to contribute, to be seen as knowledgeable or involved. After all, in many social settings, it feels almost uncomfortable to be quiet when everyone else is speaking. But here's the Stoic secret. Speaking prematurely, without fully understanding, often leads to misinformation, confusion, and the risk of misjudging the situation. Silence in these moments is not merely the absence of noise, it's a conscious, intentional decision to pause, reflect, and absorb. It's choosing wisdom over haste. Imagine this scenario. You're in a meeting discussing a project that is entirely new to you. Perhaps you've read a few things about the topic, or you have some initial thoughts based on past experiences, but you're not an expert on the subject. It's easy to blur the lines and offer an idea, thinking your input might add value. But what if you held your tongue for a moment and allowed the experts around you to share their insights? By staying silent, you give yourself the chance to listen, to truly hear the perspectives of others, to absorb information, and to formulate a more informed and thoughtful opinion later. Silence creates space for better understanding. By exercising silence in those crucial moments, you demonstrate more than just a pause. You show patience, respect for the truth, and a commitment to getting things right. You're not simply withholding your words, you're honoring the fact that you don't know everything and that there's wisdom in waiting. When we speak from a place of partial understanding, we risk misleading others or jumping to conclusions that are not based on the full picture. But when we wait, when we choose silence, we give ourselves the time to process information and make decisions grounded in truth. How many times do we let assumptions shape our thoughts and actions? It's easy to let our own biases or limited knowledge influence what we say, but that's not the path to wisdom. The Stoic secrets remind us that silence in these moments is far more powerful than impulsive speech. It protects your credibility and gives room for others to share their expertise. It also helps avoid misunderstandings, which could arise when we speak too quickly, too loudly, or without clarity. It's not just about avoiding conflict, it's about creating space for a more thoughtful, well-rounded approach. What happens when we embrace silence instead of hastily offering opinions? We allow the truth to unfold in its own time. The right moment will come, and when it does, your words, now informed and thoughtful, will carry much more weight. The next time you find yourself in a situation where facts are unclear, ask yourself, do I need to speak now, or should I embrace the silence and wait for clarity? The Stoic secret lies in choosing silence over haste, patience over impulse, and respect for truth over the urge to speak. By practicing this, you'll invite a more thoughtful, wise approach to all aspects of your life, and in doing so, you'll be better equipped to make decisions grounded in knowledge, reflection, and clarity. Number 2. When negative emotions are high. In the face of intense emotions, silence often becomes our greatest ally. Whether it's anger, frustration, or sadness, speaking while overwhelmed can cloud our judgment, leading us to say things we might later regret. The practice of silence offers a powerful tool for emotional control, allowing us to pause, reflect, and avoid impulsive actions that may only worsen the situation. This timeless advice highlights the importance of silence, especially when emotions run high, and reminds us of the value of understanding before reacting. By choosing silence, we create the mental space necessary to process our feelings and regain composure. Instead of letting emotions dictate our responses, we empower ourselves to think more clearly about how to respond in a way that aligns with our best self. Modern Stoicism teaches that emotional control is not about suppressing feelings, but about responding thoughtfully, not reactively. Silence offers a vital opportunity to create that space for reflection. By holding our tongue in moments of heightened emotion, we prevent ourselves from saying things that can escalate the situation or cause harm to others. For instance, when we're faced with upsetting news or a stressful situation, taking a moment to remain silent allows us time to process before reacting impulsively. In that stillness, we can ask ourselves, how do I want to respond? What would my highest self do in this moment? Silence provides the pause we need to ensure that we don't say something in the heat of the moment that we'll regret later. When we choose silence, it's not just about controlling our own emotions, it also gives others around us the opportunity to regain their composure. During a heated conversation or conflict, silence can offer a moment of calm that allows both parties to reflect before responding. This pause fosters mutual respect and encourages a more constructive, less emotionally charged dialogue. As Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic, once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." By maintaining our composure and choosing silence in moments of emotional intensity, we demonstrate strength and self-discipline. Our silence communicates that we are in control of ourselves, not at the mercy of our emotions, and that we are not driven by the urge to react impulsively. It's essential to understand that silence is not merely an act of withholding words. It's a conscious decision to protect our peace and preserve the quality of our interactions. In today's fast-paced world, where conflicts can arise suddenly and without warning, choosing silence in moments of emotional turmoil can have profound and lasting benefits. By practicing silence, we ensure that our actions remain aligned with our values and that we don't allow temporary emotions to dictate our behavior. In doing so, we maintain our integrity, avoid regret, and preserve our sense of self. In our modern lives, where we are constantly inundated with information and pressure to react quickly, silence can feel like a rare and precious commodity. It's all too easy to fall into the trap of reacting impulsively, especially when we feel misunderstood or disrespected. But silence, in these moments, offers us the opportunity to regain control over our emotions and decide how we want to move forward. Instead of responding in anger or frustration, silence allows us to choose clarity and peace. So the next time you find yourself in an emotionally charged situation, remember the ancient wisdom of the Stoics. Silence is not only a tool for emotional control, but a powerful method for maintaining peace, understanding, and composure in the face of adversity. By embracing silence, we equip ourselves with the strength to respond thoughtfully, promoting harmony in both our personal lives and interactions with others. To engage with our community, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment, "I choose peace in silence" below if you believe in the power of silence to manage emotions and foster meaningful, thoughtful responses. Your participation helps us build a community that values reflection, emotional control, and mutual respect, where we can all grow together. Let's create a space where silence isn't seen as avoidance, but as a powerful tool for thoughtful action. Your voice matters, and we're excited to hear how you incorporate silence into your life. Number 3, when you have nothing valuable to say. In modern Stoicism, the practice of knowing when to remain silent is a powerful tool for maintaining the integrity of conversations. Silence, when used effectively, helps avoid the temptation to fill gaps with unnecessary words, which can weaken the quality of a discussion. One of the most valuable times to practice silence is when you have nothing meaningful to contribute. In such moments, speaking simply for the sake of speaking can create a shallow atmosphere. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit." This speaks to the inner peace that comes from pausing and reflecting before responding, knowing when words are necessary and when they are not. By choosing silence, you demonstrate respect for both the conversation and the people involved. It gives others the opportunity to share their thoughts, fostering a more enriching exchange. Silence is not a sign of weakness but of strength, reflecting emotional maturity and a deep respect for the flow of dialogue. When we refrain from speaking just to fill the silence, we elevate the quality of the conversation, making it more meaningful and substantive. Silence serves as a safeguard for the integrity of communication. It acts as a filter, ensuring that only relevant and valuable information is shared. In today's fast-paced world, where everyone feels compelled to voice their opinions, it's easy to forget that not every moment requires a response. The modern Stoic recognizes that in situations where their contribution would be redundant or lacking depth, silence is a powerful alternative. Withholding unnecessary words demonstrates wisdom, allowing the conversation to deepen naturally. Consider a brainstorming session at work. If you have no new ideas, staying silent can be one of the best contributions you can make. By stepping back, you give others the chance to express their creativity, fostering an environment where innovative solutions can emerge. Silence encourages others to speak more freely, knowing the conversation isn't dominated by someone eager to be heard. In this way, silence empowers others and fosters an environment that values meaningful contributions over empty chatter. Modern Stoicism is about cultivating self-awareness and control. The ability to recognize when to speak and when to remain silent is a cornerstone of this practice. As Seneca put it, silence is a lesson learned through life's struggles. Through experience, we learn that saying less often leads to more. In a world where everyone has something to say, those who can pause and listen, and who understand the value of silence, often offer the most profound insights. Choosing silence at the right time fosters deeper reflection, leading to more meaningful dialogue. Silence also allows for a deeper connection with others. By allowing others the space to speak, we show that we value their thoughts and insights. This is especially important in personal relationships, where the ability to listen without interrupting is a sign of respect and emotional maturity. Practicing silence helps cultivate patience and self-discipline, which are essential for building stronger, more meaningful connections. Moreover, silence is a valuable tool for managing emotions. In moments of conflict or heightened emotion, the urge to react immediately can often lead to regret. The modern Stoic understands that taking a step back and allowing time for reflection is a far more powerful response. Silence provides the space to calm the mind, regain control over emotions, and approach situations with clarity and rationality. This is particularly important in both professional and personal relationships, where emotional control is key to maintaining harmony and mutual respect. Modern Stoicism teaches that there is great power in restraint. When we pause and allow others to speak, we open the door to deeper understanding and create more enriching communication. Silence is not about withholding thoughts or emotions. Rather, it's about ensuring that what we do share is meaningful and adds value to the conversation. The modern Stoic knows that there are times when words can be excessive, and in those moments, silence is the most valuable response. As we go through life, embracing the art of silence leads to greater emotional clarity, deeper connections, and more impactful conversations. In a world that often values quantity over quality, silence becomes a rare and valuable asset. Through silence, we create space for reflection, understanding, and connection, ultimately enriching our lives and the lives of those around us. Practicing silence helps us honor not only our own thoughts, but also the thoughts of others, creating an environment of mutual respect, deeper understanding, and meaningful dialogue. Silence is more than just an absence of sound. It's a powerful tool for reflection, emotional control, and personal growth. By learning to embrace silence, we can preserve our relationships, maintain inner peace, and communicate more effectively. Silence allows us to listen more deeply, reflect thoughtfully, and respond with wisdom rather than reacting impulsively. It is through mastering silence that we develop greater strength, respect, and understanding in our interactions. Remember, sometimes the most meaningful thing we can do is say nothing at all. How can you apply the power of silence in your own life? Let us know in the comments below and share how this practice has impacted your personal growth. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic Secrets for more Stoic insights on how to live a more peaceful and fulfilling life.